Very good evening, people. This is Meena Shah. So, after a short
Right.
break, we are back again with conversations that matter. And today, we have with us Hemangi Shah. Hemangi is a well known educator, and today she talks to us about the importance of extracurricular activities. A warm welcome to you, Hemangi. So good to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be a part of the Starchild Conversation series too.
Yes. So today, Hemangi, you said you would like to discuss the importance of extracurricular activities. And yes, we all know how important they are. However, sometimes we are a little confused as to what do we mean by extracurricular activities? What should be included in them?
Okay, so the activities that we do are basically our curricular activities that are related to our school and the curriculum that the school follows. We have
Okay.
something which are co-curricular activities, which are in conjunction with the curriculum, but they are done outside the school. And we have something which is called as extracurricular activities, which are activities over and above the curriculum that we do in the school. So I think even your hobbies are a big part of your extracurricular activities. So they're not related to your school curriculum, but they're something that you do over and above the school curriculum.
So sometimes schools also have some activities, as in, like skating and dancing and debates. And so are those also included in the extracurricular or the co curricular?
So they would be included in the core curricular if the kids are marked for it. Okay. But then some schools have these clubs that the children can do over and above this after school hours. So those would be marked as your extracurricular activities.
Okay, so how important are they, for a child? Should all
Uh,
children do these kind of activities?
Yes, they're extremely important because as an educator, I think you and me, I both know that children have multiple intelligences. Okay. It's like some children are great readers, some are great batsmen, cricketers, dancers, musicians. So if we explore our child and his interests or her interests, we will come to know as to where does his or her strength lie. So that's the first benefit of having an extracurricular activity. When we do an activity outside the environment of a school, we are building up our interpersonal relationships with people. We are learning how to deal with peers. We are learning how to deal in a completely new environment. So we are learning very, very important life skills. We learn leadership qualities. So extracurriculars are very, very important for an overall and holistic development of any child.
That, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. So, again, here I would like to ask you. So, there are some extracurricular activities, or rather, whatever you want to call them, which are sports related. Which are more kinesthetic.
Yes.
There's some which are probably linguistic or, you know, so, so how does a parent decide, where to put their child in?
So the idea is to start off young. The idea is to choose maybe one or two extracurriculars per year for your child to see where his or her interests actually lie. So when I expose my child to multiple kinds of activities, I will really come to understand, okay, this is something that he really enjoys or he's brilliant in, or this is something that he doesn't like, but yes, he's learned something more about it. So he's a little more comfortable in that space. So ideally, if you say from grade 1 to 7, you have so many years. So you can probably map out one or two activities that your child can do. And you can take it from there. So if I say even sports would be either an individual sport or a team sport. Not all children are meant for both kind of sports. Even if I
Correct.
say music, it could be either an individual singing or playing an instrument. So there are so many things that you can explore. Some children love to be outdoors. So taking them on small treks, hikes, introducing them to camps and camping is something that can help you with that aspect of their personality also.
Right. Yes, I agree. I mean, as a matter of fact, I remember as a teacher when parents asked me, I used to tell them, expose your child to as much as you can and then decide. So I guess that is what works, right?
Yeah.
Uh, some parents are a little worried sometimes and they feel that extracurricular activities take up too much time. they're going for tuitions, they're going to school, and then extracurricular. I mean, the whole day is taken up. So should they go for it, or would it, sort of hamper their, academic progress?
So if you tell me, I would say it's quite the opposite. When you do extracurriculars, you're not hampering your progress. In fact, you are enhancing the child's personality. Because everybody is aware that if they go in for some form of exercise or sport, it teaches them discipline, it teaches them being time management, it teaches them a lot of different values, which they can definitely carry forward to their academics. If I know that I'm very good at art and all, I can always do charts at school. I can present myself if I'm a very confident speaker. I can make use of my extracurriculars and enhance my curriculars. But the most important is that when I do that, I have a wealth of knowledge other than what a normal child or any child who's not exposed to that activities would have. So
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
yeah. So I strongly feel that every child should do extracurriculars. Marks can vary. That's okay. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
1 or 2 marks here and a wealth of experience are not a comparison at all.
And there's also confidence building, right? When you're going for so many things and you learn so much, the child becomes so much more confident, right?
Definitely, definitely. And I
So,
think now all of us are seeing the changing scenario of education with different boards coming up. So it's more about life skills than just your purely academic scores that really matter in the long run.
true. I completely agree with you. And you have brought up some very good points, and I'm sure parents would definitely understand the importance much better. Also, tell me, do you think that school should include some of these so-called extracurricular into the curriculum? For example, I think of debates. When we were young, we had debates in school, we had elocution in school. So many of these things. So, what do you feel? Should they be included as part of the curriculum?
They should be, and I feel they actually, in that entire day, you should keep aside 1 hour for any such activity. I'm sure many of us are aware that in Japan, the children grow their own vegetables, and from that vegetable garden, they're learning those life skills in school. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it, I think. But India being a country with a large amount of population, and the size of a class in a school is pretty big, sometimes it might not be possible. So even if I have a debate club, I would really need a lot of planning to make sure that each and every child is exposed to that. Otherwise, it's really not going to make sense, because the ones that are really having a very great personality and are extroverted often get picked up, but the introverted ones are often left at
Yes,
the back
yes.
bench. So there
I
are
agree.
some practical difficulties to it.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I mean, I don't know if in some way some of these things could be, made part of a curriculum, maybe included in the English literature part, or whatever. I mean, I'm just thinking aloud.
I think
Uh,
we have yoga in a lot of schools right now,
yeah.
because it should be taught, because the children face so much in the outside world that they need to know themselves internally. So yes, yoga is taught, music is taught. Everybody now has a compulsory sports period. So yes, it is taught. But if you feel that your child is going to shine out with a little more personal attention, or is probably not exposed to that much, and you would like him to experiment with something, yes, then we can actually do this. But yeah, having that in school does help, because it also gives the parent an idea as to where that child actually is showing a little more interest towards.
Okay, so one last question. Again, as the children grow, say like you said, up to seventh standard, they have the time, and parents feel it's all right. Not too much to study. But when they go to eighth standard, or even as a matter of seventh standard itself, parents get a little worried. I mean, how much can you do of this? So should they discontinue these kind of activities later?
Uh, I would not recommend it. I would say you can streamline it. Because as all of us are aware with the changing scenario of even education, where people are opting to go out of India, or people are planning to go for private universities, these things matter if you continue them in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Those are basically the critical academic years where we are concentrated on the scores. But if your child is a holistically developed child, that's a personality that everybody looks at. So you probably might not do 10 activities, You now know what your child is actually enjoying or being good at or is progressing in. You can shortlist just those one and two, fit it up in their schedule because they are an excellent stress buster also. We need to realize that.
Yes,
So,
yes, I agree. I
and
agree.
those
Yeah.
are probably the most stressful years that the child would have before they get into a university and they're like, okay, now for 5 years I'm going to be here, So,
Yeah.
yes, I feel that they should be a part of your child's program or what you envision for your child because it has multiple benefits. Even like something like a community service, which would just take up an hour of his time, but would give him a lot more exposure to himself, to know himself better, as well as to know the world around him better. So, yes, I don't feel that parents should discontinue it, but yet we probably streamline it and concentrate on one or two things that we want to really love doing, but not stop it.
Correct. I agree with you. That's a good point there. Streamline the activity and not stop it. Yes, that's a
Yeah.
great idea. So before we end, would you like to sort of summarize the benefits of extracurricular activities to our parents, for our
Yeah.
parents?
So I think we can put in one word is you have a well-rounded personality. Your child can explore his or her interests. The child can know him or herself better. Academically, if I would say it gives a very good profile to your child because I think that's the concern of the elder kids. But yes, I feel that is one thing that will make your child a very complete individual, a confident individual, as well as an individual who knows where he wants to go in his life. So yes, I feel that everything should be a part of their grooming or bring up whatever.
Yes, thank you so much, Hemangi. I'm sure you have given a lot of food for thought to our parents.
Thank you.
And, if there are questions, I'm sure you'll get them in the comments. Already, we can see one of them saying that you have said it perfectly well. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm so glad that people are joining in, and I'm sure many will benefit when they even see the recording of this. So,
Right.
thank you very much for your time, and we hope to have you again soon. Thank you.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.